grab your Bibles, come with me to the book of Acts 28. 28. 28. Jump on your feet if you can while you read these few verses. Acts 28. You, Sister Pam. Let's see. Acts 28, verse 1. And it reads like this. Here begins the reading of God's holy and eternal word. And when they were escaped, then they knew that the island was called Melita. And the barbarians or native people showed us little kindness, for they kindled a fire and received us every one because of the present rain and because of the cold. And when Paul had gathered a bundle of sticks and laid them on the fire, there came a viper out of the heat and fastened on his hand. And when the barbarians saw the venomous beast hang on his hand, they said among themselves, no doubt this man is a murderer, whom though he have escaped the sea, yet vengeance suffereth not to live. And he shook off the beast into the fire and felt no harm. So far, the scripture. Verse 4 says, and when the barbarians saw the venomous beast hang on his hand, they said among themselves, no doubt this man is a murderer, whom though he have escaped the sea, yet vengeance suffereth not to live. And he shook off the beast into the fire and felt no harm. And when the barbarians saw the venomous beast hang on his hand. I want to speak to you from this text, from this subject, the ministry of snakes. I'm not talking about your ex, I'm talking about I might be. You never know. You know how we go. You have some talks in the kitchen, you know. Ministry of snakes. Look at somebody tell him, he talking about. I live in the pseudo country now. I call it pseudo country because you drive a few blocks, a couple of 10, 20 blocks, you on Main Street and stores and stuff, but take a few turns and ain't nothing but land and animals, lions and tigers and bears and deers and all kinds of stuff. And while mowing the lawn a few times, I've noticed something moving. And I looked, and it was a snake. Wasn't no big worm, wasn't no worm on steroids. It was a snake. I'm from 362 Sutter Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11212, apartment 6B. I ain't dealing with no snakes, except the folks standing in front of the bodega. Not used to snakes. I always wish I'll let you in on something. I'm kind of nervous around dogs. I'm nervous around dogs. And it's my mama's fault because we had a dog. Had a nice dog. Nice dog. And he bit my neighbor. And she made us get rid of the dog. We should have got rid of the neighbor. Well, we got to get rid of the dog, and we got a cat, and I'm not scared of cats. Bring a cat. You know, I'm cool with cats. I had a cat since I was from 3rd grade all the way until I got married. Same cat. Love cats. But dogs, because I wasn't around, I don't trust dogs. But the one thing I don't trust more than dogs is snakes. I don't trust snakes. Something about them. I mean, I get nervous when I see people walking around with snakes around their neck. You go to Coney Island and you walk around the streets and you see these, like, are you? disrespectful thing you can say about a person is they're a snake. It means you can't be trusted. And some of you know some snakes, been around some snakes. You may have people in your family with the last name that you consider a snake. Yeah, you've had Thanksgiving with some snakes. You may have shared a bedroom with a snake. Yeah, you don't want to talk about it because they family. And truth be told, you may have one time in your life been a snake. But thank God for the blood. Thank God that them snakish tendencies that you had somehow slid off, and now you can be trusted around people and trusted around pocketbooks and trusted around somebody else's man. You can be trusted. Because your snakish tendencies have shed off. You got to watch snakish people with both eyes. You got to be careful around people like that. They have the ability to shed their skin. And they make you think they've changed, but they really haven't. And a lot of hurt a lot of us have had is because we kept trusting snakes. You knew they were a snake. You know it. You remember the story about the man who found a damage. A snake was hurting. He saw a snake and he picked it up. It was a bad-looking snake. It was on its last leg, so to speak. He took the snake home, nursed it back to health, fed it, went and got gerbils and food, and he nursed the snake back to health, and the snake grew up to be big and thick, and then one day the snake bit him, and he's dying. He looks at the snake and says, I rescued you. I nursed you back to health. I gave you a room, a couch. I gave you a pillow. Gave you money, paid your rent. I helped you get out of the hell you were in. Why would you do this to me? And the snake said, you knew I was a snake. There's some people you know are snakes. But sometimes the good in you want to help everybody. Call you to be a Messiah. Then call you to be God Jr. It is not your job to help everybody. It is your job to help people you are assigned to. Get your assignment in order. You out there helping them. You're supposed to be helping them. And them folks over here don't want to hear you. They'll take your money, your time, your resources, and here you are depleted. Bankrupt emotionally, bankrupt mentally, bankrupt physically. And you go on to God and goes, I never told you to go over there. I have a remnant. I have assignments for those people. They were not your assignment. You flying to Africa to go build a village. Go fix your apartment. Your kids are crazy. You say, I'm going to preach to the nations. The nations is next door. I'm about to go over here because God, I got to get my passport because God going to send me. I'm going to every continent. You better go to the next bedroom and wake that little nigga up and tell him do the dishes. We're going to go build wells in Africa. You going to build wells in Africa? And you got a dishes in your sink? And these two lazy kids in there smoking weed don't want to hear about you. Kick their behinds out. Yeah, absolutely. No. How you going? I mean, you have an assignment right here, and you are depleting yourself over there. And now you're angry at God. And God told you, I've never told you to do that. Because you've been dealing with these snakish people who keep telling you that you're going to do better. And they have a form of godliness. You know the form of godliness. They know how to shout. Give me a quick shout progression. Come on. They know how to shout. Demons. And you swear they say, he shout. That nigga fine and he can shout. Look at her. She's stacked and she loves God. It's a snake. And then when somebody with some maturity, when somebody who knows a little bit about God tells you, leave them alone, they're no good for you, now you mad. Now they shutting you out. You just don't want to see me happy. I don't want to see you hurt. It ain't about being happy. I don't want to see you hurt because I looked in that person's eyes and I can tell you right now they're no good for you. They're going to hurt you. Slow down. You ain't got to go that fast this far. Take your time. You messing with a snake. Anybody that tells you to go against your family is a snake. Anybody that tells you is a liar is a snake. Anybody that tells you that I'm your daddy, you don't need him, is a snake. Anybody that tell you to cut class and go hump in the bathroom is a snake. Anybody tell you quit your job, that's a snake. Let me hold your EBT card. Let me hold your ATM card. What's your code? What's your code? Here you are taking a bus to work and he driving your car. It is a snake. I was doing some research and there ain't too many scriptures in the Bible about snakes. First time we hear about a snake is in Genesis. Before he tells about cattle and turtle doves and mules, he talks about a snake. And the snake's introduction, you got to pay attention to the introduction. I don't care about the introduction, but the introduction tells me a lot about you. You get one chance to make a first impression. It is the introduction of a thing that you have to remember. And when the introduction is made, you see a snake walking and talking. Just because they walk and talk smoothly, they can still be a snake. And don't get it twisted, there's some female snakes out here too. I showed my wife this picture. This lovely looking lady. She was nice looking. And then I showed her another picture. I said, that's the same lady. That's the same lady. No. You can't show me a picture of Janet Jackson and then you show up looking like Freddie Jackson. Your picture says Janet, but your life says Freddie. No. That's a grounds for divorce. Absolutely not. Ain't nowhere in the world we gonna have some 90-day wedding. And I ain't never seen you. I want to see baby pictures. Because back in the day, they scared now. Y'all scared to take pictures of your babies in the shower. Right, mama used to wash you in that sink, and you had pictures and you used to don't show them that picture, Mom. That's me when I was 1 year old in the sink. Now y'all don't do that because you scared somebody go arrest you for this or for that. No. I want to see a picture of you in the tub. I need to make sure that the plumbing is the same. I need to make sure. No. I'm good with the construction. I want to check the plumbing. gotta make sure that you are who you say you are, that you don't have no orientations, and you've changed some stuff. When we had this building inspected, the architect had to draw the bathroom in. He said, I said, can't you just say it was already there? Because we got to pay all this money. He said, I can't say. He said, I got to let them know that we changed the plumbing. Yeah. And you're going to have to pay somebody to come inspect this. You better find you an old church mama who knows how to do an inspection. Who can look at that boy and say, that boy's switching. Look at that girl and say, there's something about that girl. I ain't saying she a gold digger, but she ain't messing with no broke. Hey, dangerous snakes. Snakes, y'all. Snakes. And to appreciate this text, because I know you all appreciate the text, because this church reads their Bibles, and this church is excited about Bible reading, and you're excited about soaping the text, where you get a text and you observe and you apply and you pray. You know how to soap text, so let's soap the text, and let's go back to 27. Because this text is a continuation from chapter 27. If you're going to read a text, read the pretext and the post-text to get an appreciation of the present text. So the post-text and the pretext of the 27. At 27, you see Paul is in a storm. He's in a storm. Y'all called Euroclydon. Now there's some of them the Bible don't even give a name to. But what happens when you have a name for your storm? You have a name. We've been trying to find a name for this storm for the longest, and they keep coming up with nothing. And you don't really want a name. You ever been sick and you really don't want it to be this, but you kind of want to know what it is? So you get mad when they say you got a cold. This ain't no cold. I know what a cold feel like. And when you have a name for your storm, this storm, Euroclydon, means violent agitation. It's not enough that you agitate me, but you violently agitate me. You got anybody in your life that is an agitator? You ever had to go to work and your cubicle was next to an agitator? You know folks that report to HR everything you do? You know how folks, when they email you, they got to add 5 people to the email? I'm sitting right here. You could have looked right over and said, you forgot a comma. But you got to text 20 people plus the CEO to tell me I forgot a comma? Or they come to work and they warm up fish in the microwave. Violent. You are just agitating me. It's frustrating to be agitated. Agitation is when you wake up early and you go to sleep late. But it's on your mind. The storm can ruin a perfectly good marriage. Those of you who've been married, been happily married forever. You ain't been happily nothing forever. No, we happy, but we had some bad days. Yeah, we ain't never have a fight in 27 years. You a liar, or you ain't got no voice. You ain't gonna be with nobody for 27 years or 30 years. You don't like yourself sometimes. We ain't been happy. No. You ain't been happily nothing. But because we made a vow, I don't care what hell goes on. I know you don't like me today, but I ain't going nowhere. I know you can't stand my guts right now, but guess what? I'm be all up in this kitchen making a lot of noise, so you know I ain't leave the house. Just slam the cabinets for no reason. Just kicking chairs for no. Gonna have to talk. I used out of a more, so you gotta ask me something. Bet you don't find that AAA battery. Can't change Netflix here. Can't change the show, right? Can't change the show, right? Petty. I can be petty, but you gonna talk to me. You ain't gonna be no Criminal Minds up in here today. Ain't gonna be no Grey's Anatomy today. Change the battery, Greg. You're gonna say something to me today. A storm can destroy a perfectly good church. Holy Ghost all up in here. But if your Wackadon comes. Pastor told me one week he went away to preach, came back, 42 people left his church. 42 people in one. How in the Hades do 42 people walk out? You on the West Coast come back and found out that half your church is gone. Who did it? Who did it? Who destroyed the church? Who would do that? The truth be told, all of us have gone through your Wackadon. It's part of the process.